Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike and today I have my October Shop My Stash for you. If I sound a bit nasally or raspy, that's because I've come down with a cold and this is the only weekend I can film before I head out to New York, so I'm pre-filming a lot despite the cold. So also in upcoming videos, if I sound a bit off, then that's why, just so you know. So today I'm going to be shopping my stash again for the month of October. I'm going to show you what I've been using in the month of September and give you a bit of a lowdown on the products that were in my Shop My Stash last month. But I'm also going to be switching them around for some new products that I either haven't tried or that I'm excited to start trying again because they are old favorites or anything like that. So let's just get to my makeup drawer and show you what's in there right now and then show you what I'm going to be swapping things out for. Here we go. As per usual, this is the section I will be changing up the most. I decided to put my brush cleanser in here now. This little like pot cleanser, I love using that for my eyeshadow brushes so I can quickly switch colors. So that's really nice. And as per usual, on this side of the drawer, not too much is going to change. I'm still using my primer. Sadly, my primer brush fell apart this past month, so I'm a bit bummed about that, but oh well, I'm now applying it with fingers and it works fine. My setting spray, but I think I will be replacing it soon because it's on its last legs. Max Fix Plus, some lip balms, sharpeners, primers. I was using, as you will see in a minute, some glitters this month as well, so I was using the NYX glitter primer to make sure those stuck to my face, but I'm just going to put that back into my stash because I don't need it anymore. And I ran out of my other eyeshadow primer, so I'm now using the Essence You Better Work Eye Primer. And as some of you have been noticing, I'm not very happy with a lot of the You Better Work products. I've tried a few and a lot of them didn't work for me, but this little eye primer, you guys, it's really, really nice. MAC Painterly, my The Body Shop eyeshadow, which, again, I made a lot of progress on. It's almost gone. I just have a lot of product on this side and everything else is pretty much gone. I'm pretty much waiting for this to start crumbling away and then I know it will be used up. My brow products aren't changing. My Soap & Glory brow pencil is still doing its work, as well as my Essence Make Me Brow. My mascaras, I think I want to move this mascara out of my stash actually, because I'm just noticing that it's starting to dry up a little bit and it's not my favorite. Like, it's nice, it's okay, but it doesn't really do much of what I like a mascara to. I like something a bit more volumizing. Let's start with base. For the first half of the month, I was using these two, the new Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation and Concealer. I have both in the shade 20NN. And boy, I really like this. For a matte foundation, it really doesn't emphasize any dryness. I was very, very happy with this. Plus it has a super nice lightweight texture. So I was loving this at the end of like August, early September, when we still had some hot days. This really stayed put, so that was nice. But I'm now ready to move on to some other base products. Also new in August was the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer and Foundation. The foundation is in F2, the concealer in C3. Those are my perfect shades. I was using this in the second half of the month and also loved it. It's a lot thicker and sort of creamier, more hydrating than the Urban Decay one. It's not as transfer proof as that. I definitely had some issues with transferring with this one, but it does feel very nice and not like you're wearing a lot of makeup at all. And that's why I really like this. It didn't make my face look dry or cakey or makeup-y. It looked really nice. I do have to say that this concealer does crease a little bit more on me than the Conceal and Define. But I do think it's very similar to that, so, but a more hydrating version, you could say. So these are also some really nice base products. Are you ready? Almost done. Like, there are 3 products in here right now that are almost done. This is my Hourglass powder. You will have seen me using this for the past couple of months. Yup, it's definitely on its last legs. For highlighter, in the second half, I was reaching more for my Ofra highlighter in Blissful. This is just a mini, but I'm glad I got the mini because it's, you know, just a little bit more manageable because Ofra highlighters come with so much product and you only need very little. I was very surprised for how dark this looks in the pan, how nice it looked on. This is the highlighter I'm wearing in the introduction to this video, by the way. In the first half, I geared more towards the Annabelle Perfect Glow highlighter in Topaz. I used this a ton when I first received it last year. As you can see, I have a nice dent right there. And I've definitely expanded that dent a little bit this month because this is one of my favorite highlighters, you guys. Not gonna lie. Bronzer then, the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in Indasun. I'm sorry for all of the fingerprints. I found out that this only comes with 6 grams of product and I've definitely worn away a lot of the logo already. This is a super nice bronzer though, you guys. It looks very natural, works great with my fair skin, doesn't look muddy at all. I know that some people have been saying it looks muddy on them, but I haven't had any issues with this whatsoever. It looks super nice. For blush, Kiko Shade Fusion Blush in Marsala, one of my all-time favorite blushes. I used it again a ton this month, but I was definitely more into like a glowy moment, especially this. At the start of the month, I definitely went in with this mini. This is Gold Rush by Benefit, and I bought the mini because I don't really use a blush that quickly, so I thought I would go with a smaller size. This is like a lighter version of Coralista, you could say. So that's why I was liking it, because I love Coralista in the summertime. But now that I have this, this is a bit more peachy, perhaps, but it looked very nice, very natural on my skin. And Wet n Wild Color Icon in Rosé Champagne. I was loving this, you guys. I hadn't used this all that much, but I felt that it looked very nice, and it's sort of like satin more so than full-on glowy like the Benefit. So this was a really nice one to use. Can you guess what lipstick I wore most this month? I think you can, right? Here we have it again. The Catrice Power Plumping Gel Lipstick in 030 Speak Up. This is all I have left. Look at that. Almost gone. It is definitely sort of my go-to now whenever I wear a colorful look. This just always goes. Whatever look I do, no matter how colorful or what the color is, this lipstick just works, which is why I've been wearing it so much over the past couple of months, because I've been wearing so much colorful eyeshadow. But I do have to say that now that I'm nearing the end of trying all the new stuff I bought, I am itching, literally itching to go back to my old favorites, and most of those are neutrals. And in the past month, I wore a neutral eye with a red lip a couple of times, and you guys, I was loving it. So I still need to try one more palette, which is the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker, and when I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go back to my Tarte in Bloom and Lorac Pro 3 and those guys, and just wear like a nice bold bright red or maybe a berry, because we're in fall right now, because I'm a bit done with wearing the same nude lipstick all the time. So I definitely want to start wearing lots of other lipsticks this month. So stay tuned for the next Shop My Stash, because I hope to be able to feature more than just this very well-loved version of Speak Up by Catrice. In this little basket, which I will show you the contents of in a minute, I always keep all of the eyeshadow palettes that I was using that month, and I used a ton, you guys. I really wanted to push myself to be able to take pictures before there is no more daylight in the mornings before I head out to work. So I used the Strobe Cosmetics Creepy Cute palette, which is what I was wearing on my eyes in the intro to this video. This is a really nice pastel palette, you guys. I can highly recommend. These definitely show up. I do have to say that the peach and the pink were a bit difficult for me to get them to show up, because they're very close to my skin tone. But all those other light shades really, really pop and look really nice. You've also seen me wear this in some videos, the Certify Affinity 2 palette. This is a stunning blue-green palette, and I still had to try it, so I did. I wore an all green and all blue, and also a combination look with this. It's got a couple of really interesting shimmers in here that are more duochrome, and I felt I could pull some really nice looks out of this, so very happy with that. Now, the reason there was a glitter primer in this desk was because of this. The Tarte High Tides and Good Vibes eyeshadow palette, and it's got these pressed glitters, and in order to get those to stick all day, I definitely had to use a glitter primer. I was pleasantly surprised with this, how good it is. These glitters are quite easy to work with. A finger is still the best way, but I really like the combination of these different shades that are in here, and if you want to have like wearable glitter for every day, then this is definitely a palette that works that way very well. There was one palette that it's not a disappointment, it's not bad, it's just I was just a little bit underwhelmed with the dimension of the Layla 2 by Blush Tribe. I definitely think that this suffers from a bit too much green that doesn't look very distinct on the eye anymore. So these bright greens work really, really well, but I felt that this wasn't deep enough to really sort of create dimension in different looks. You definitely need the darker greens from the Hasina 2 to really get you that sort of dimension. So I wish this had like not this shade, but like one shade darker in like this color family. That would have been nice, but then you would have been able to do a lot more with this, but the quality was still great. It's just because these shades are quite light and bright, you do need to build them up quite a bit in order to really have them pack a punch. But a palette that I did already use, but I'm not sure how I feel about just yet, I need to play around with this a bit more, I feel, is the Ace Beauté Slice of Paradise palette. This palette is really nice. It's just a lot of pigment that is it's not difficult to blend. It's just pigment, boom, there it is. And then it just stays put kind of thing. So for me, this was a bit of a challenge to use. Also in terms of putting colors together. I did 2 looks with this using every single shade that's here. So I know how every single shade performs. I thought the shimmers in this were a bit lackluster. They didn't build up very well and didn't look very shimmery on the eye at all. Pleasantly surprised I was by Sample Beauty's, what was this called again? The Hydrographic palette. This is an all blue, purple, green palette, and these were really nice. They were a bit chalky when you feel them and when you swatch them, but they went on very nicely. It's very pigmented. I had no issues with blending, and I was able to pull some really stunning looks. The only thing I feel this lacked in was wear time. I always double prime my lids, and this did sort of smudge around a little bit throughout the day. But then again, which eyeshadow wears 12 hours perfectly? None of them do. And the same goes for the LA Splash Classic Horror, actually. This has a very similar chalky texture as the Sample Beauty one, but this as well I was very impressed by. I was expecting this to blend away, not look vibrant at all. All of these shades have a bit of a murky undertone, so it could muddy up very easily. And also with this, I found it had a bit of an issue with staying power throughout the day, but overall the looks I pulled out of this I was very happy with, and it has a couple of very unique shades. It looks like a standard rainbow, but it definitely isn't. For some more neutral looks, I used the Bad Habit Artistry palette. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Maestro by Mario palette that everybody was raving about. This is a really nice neutral palette. It's just, yeah, a really nice neutral palette, very curated. I like the quality. These were very soft. They did blend away a little bit, I found, but this is when I rediscovered my love for a neutral eye with a red lip. So there we go. And last but not least, Natasha Denona Gold. This also has some really stunning neutrals, but actually this is the kind of palette that kind of fools you, because there's a lot of interesting textures and undertones going on in this that make this palette a lot more than just another neutral palette, which is why I bought it, and I was very happy with this. I will be doing very shortly, like in the next week or two, I will have a video up in which I will review 10 recent eyeshadow palettes that I've tried. So a lot of these I will go into more depth and also show you swatches and like a makeup look with them in the next couple of weeks or so. I still need to film that. So let's just show you what I'm going to be putting in here now. I'm currently working on this. I've already done 2 looks with this, just one more look left to use every single shade. And this is the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. Another blue-green palette, but I feel it does something very differently to the Certify one because it just has different tones in it. So I'm very happy that I have both of them. And so far, I'm loving this. I already mentioned also using the Jeffree Star palette, but a couple of palettes that I need to use more as well are these new Catrice and Essence palettes. I already filmed the first impression with these, but I know that these are limited edition, so I wanted to get that out there ASAP so that if you're wondering about any of these, that you have at least some idea of what you're buying. But yeah, I do still want to take pictures with this and do all that, so I'm definitely going to be trying these out this month. But by the time I get around to doing all that, these will probably have sold out already. So that's why I am showing you that I bought them. So those are some eyeshadows that I will be pulling in, and as I mentioned, I want to wear a lot more of my bright lipsticks too, but for base, because that's where the makeup of course starts, I'm going to be pulling in these two foundations, the Dior Backstage Foundation and the ColourPop No Filter Foundation. I have the ColourPop one in Fair 35, and I believe this is in the shade 0N. I haven't tried these ones all that much, so I figured I need to give them more of a chance and make up my mind about them. The same goes about for these concealers. In my ranking concealers video, I said I don't remember what I thought of this, so I need to put it in a Shop My Stash. And the same goes for this. I bought this in March, but I actually ended up not really using it all that much yet, so I don't really have an idea yet how I feel about the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. For blush, I've got three options. The Catrice Glowing Blush Box in It's Wine O'Clock. I used Dolce Vita over the summer, loved it, but this is more of a full color, I think, so that will be nice. And then for something super natural and neutral, I will be pulling in Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Plum Rose. And then for something a little bit more glowy, I'm going to be using Too Faced's Tutti Frutti Fruit Cocktail Blush Duo in Berries and Bubbly. I bought this over the summer and I haven't used it much yet, so this will definitely, since this is quite glittery, be a very glowy look. So I have something a little bit more satin glow, matte, and a little bit more intense. So we'll see how that works. For bronzer, I wanted to pull in this. This is the Balm's Take Home the Bronze Bronzer in the shade Oliver. And I love this. I used this a ton last year, but I didn't get around to reviewing it. So I want to refresh my memory how I feel about this. I already know I like it, and then finally get the review up. And then last but not least, for highlighter, I've got three. I usually do two, but I was like, oh yeah, the NARS highlighter. I bought this last year in the fall time and loved it, as you can tell by the dent. But I haven't gotten around to writing a review on it yet. So I was like, let's start using it again to refresh my memory and remember what it was like. New is Essence's The Highlighter, and I tried this out in my Essence video, but I need to try it a bit more before I can review it, so that's why it's going in here. And another fairly new highlighter is the Milani, what's this called? Luster Light Highlighter in Hypnotic Lights. And this is a peachy toned duochrome, which I haven't used yet. I bought it, I think, in January, and I just haven't really put it on my face because I feel it's more of like a fall-winter thing. So I thought it would be perfect for now. So that is my Shop My Stash for the month of October. I do one of these once a month, so I hope you enjoy watching it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos every single week, so I've got lots more content coming your way. So please stay tuned if you'd like to see more by me. I would very much appreciate it if you would like to do that. And for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye!